Welcome to Positive Behavior Supports. My name is Dr. Valeria Rusto, and I am the Statewide Director of Training and Staff Development for the Department of Developmental Services. I'm glad you could join us here today as we bring you into our series about positive behavior supports. These first modules are the introductory piece, and they will provide you with some basic understanding of terms, as well as allowing you the opportunity to use the computer for learning. Thank you for joining us, and we hope you will come back for more modules, as we will be working on developing them in the future. Good luck. I look forward to working with you.
So I can say, Tim, you can either go to the reading center or you can go to the blocks. That's giving him choices, trying to avoid that crying from happening. What I can't do is say, Tim, you're crying, you're going to the timeout corner or your thinking chair, because I'm reinforcing he's escaping the activity he doesn't want to do. You see how that works? He knows that if he cries, he's going to a timeout, so I don't have to go to the sand table. So I can reinforce the behavior that I don't want to occur. So give them choices, your choices. What would you like them to do? You have to be a little flexible with this challenging behaviors, because these are your kiddos that are not going to respond to what the majority of your class respond. So if he must go to the sand table, let's negotiate then. Can you do it for 2 minutes and then you'll go here, or go to the reading center and then come here for 3 minutes? But if it's not a requirement, let's go ahead and be flexible and give him some choices to prevent that behavior from happening. Okay? So I'm going to help you have a great day tomorrow. And what I'm going to do is, every time that I see that you're not listening, I'm going to give you a warning. And I'm going to go, Tim, this is your first warning. Then I'm going to let you have some time so you can join us back in the classroom and do what I ask you to do. And if you're still not listening, I'm going to say, Tim, this is your second warning. But after that, Tim, if you're not listening to Ms. Armstrong, I'm going to have to take you to the thinking chair. And you're going to have to stay there for 3 minutes until I ask you to come back and join us. So Tim start crying, I say, Tim, this is your first warning. I'm going to walk away and continue doing what I was doing, attending other children, whatever it is that you were doing. Give him a minute or so, then go back. Tim, this is your second warning. If Tim is still not responding, again, give him a minute or two, and then come back, take his hand, walk him to the thinking chair. Do not engage in conversation. You don't need to say, Tim, I told you yesterday, or you don't need to give them the look or anything like that, because they know that you are upset. They know they have control over you instead of you having control of your classroom. So you're going to walk him and you're going to sit him down. Of course, this sounds perfect, and the reality is Tim is not going to stay in that chair, is he? No. Tim is going to run around the classroom, screaming, kicking, pushing, throwing things around. So the first few days is going to be rough. It's going to be worse than it was at the beginning. What you have to do, though, you're going to have to walk and get him again. Don't run, don't call him, don't get upset. He's playing you, he's manipulating you. If you break at this point, he got you. Okay? So walk as many times as you need to do it. Sit him back 20, 30 times. But I promise you, if you do it, next time, you're not going to chase him 20 times. You may chase him only 15. And the next day, maybe 10. And you'll come to the time that he'll just stay there. And the last thing about your consequences is very important too. Once he stays in the chair, I'm going to bend over and look at him in the eye, and I'm going to say, you weren't listening to Ms. Armstrong, and that's why I asked you to stay here for 3 minutes. I want you to apologize. And you're going to wait for that apology. If he's still crying, you're going to say, I see that you're not ready, so I'm going to give you another 2 more minutes. And you walk away. Until the crying is done and he's ready to apologize, then we'll have that conversation of why it was wrong what he did. You get your apology, and you go back to business. And you probably need, somebody to support you. Since you had that conversation with the co-teacher, it's thankfully not going to be all 20 of your kiddos that need that. So you're going to focus those few first days in attending that kiddo that needs to really work in that consequence. Because once those first 2 weeks are passed, you're going to get control of your classroom again, and you're not going to have to deal with Tim 20 times a day. It's not easy, but I promise you that it works. So it's very important that we work on these 3. Your physical environment, rules and expectations and your routines. And a little secret here, like I said before, demonstrate genuine interest for your kiddos because they can sense that. Just like, for example, when your boss goes into your center, do you know if he likes you or she likes you? Can you sense that? If they say hello, do you feel like it's genuine or not? If we can sense that, kids can sense it too. To prevent the behavior from happening and have those behaviors that we want to see happen more often instead. So those are called reinforcements, things that we do to either make something happen more often or extinguish something, in this case a behavior. We want to focus on our positive reinforcements. These are the things that we do that will give us more positive behaviors in the classroom. So here's the golden rule for behavior. Make sure you say yes, do, and go. Tell kids what you want them to do, where you want them to be, how you want them to react. And avoid using no, stop, and don't. So I'm going to give you a 3-step solution that I want you to start implementing or thinking right away about the kids, about your children in the classroom. So the first thing I want you to do is observe, like we talked about. I already told you how to do it, the things that you need to pay attention to. You're going to plan and you're going to act. Observe, and once again, it's what are you doing? What is your co-teacher doing when that behavior is happening? Where is that behavior happening? Is it only when we are outside? Is it only during circle time? And also know your patterns. How often does it happen? Is it every day? Is it every time I ask him to do this? Is it every time mom brings him to school or dad brings him to school? When I ask you to plan, is to research. Look for books, look for magazines, Google it, talk to more experienced teachers that have been in the education field forever, your teacher next door, they have ideas. You share ideas before, and maybe you heard something new that you can start implementing in your classroom. And then the next day, go in there with your plan and make sure you're consistent with your plan. And monitor your results. Okay, what I'm doing, it seems to be working. What I tried today in the classroom gave me some results. If it didn't, always give some time. Behavior takes some time to change. And then if you still, you gave it a couple of weeks, not working, then go back to step 2, to plan and research. Ask for help. We're there to help you. I'm going to go through the framework of what we reviewed today, and this covers everything we saw today. So just to go by it very quickly, we talk about functions of the behavior. Remember, they either want to get something or they want to avoid something. We talk about having a plan that you're going to observe, you're going to plan, you're going to act. This is going to be your 3-step solution to your behaviors. We talk about classroom management, how it's not just up to you. There's the families involved, the students, the teachers, but what you can control is what happens in your classroom, and you can do that by arranging the physical environment, the rules and expectations and routines. Not only the routines, but focusing in the procedures. Your children need to know and master those procedures. We talk about our positive reinforcements and negative reinforcements, and we said our focus is in preventing those behaviors from happening rather than having to deal with them afterwards. And always remember the golden rule. Use words such as yes, do, go, and avoid using words such as no.